This is Andy Jones from MusicRadar at the Big Chill, and I'm with Mr. Scruff. How's it going?
It's going fantastic, thank you. At the moment it's about 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon. We're halfway through the weekend and the weather's fantastic. We've really been blessed. Great music, really good programming this year, and lovely people. It's great to be back. You know, it's like Christmas but in the middle in August. So.
And we've tried your cake out. Do you make that yourself?
I don't know. I just make tunes and kind of make sure that I work with people who are good at cake. You know what I mean? But yeah, we've got a guy called Reno from we've got a cafe in Manchester called Cup. And there's two chefs there, and he's one of them. We brought him with us to the Big Chill, and he's been knocking up loads of fresh cakes on site and stuff like that. It's been fantastic. Fresh, you know, the smell of baking and all that kind of stuff is great.
To anyone who doesn't know, what's the idea behind the tea shop? Because you've been here a couple of years, or a few years. I remember chilling out at least 3 years ago at the tea rooms then. I don't know if that was the first one. What's the idea behind it?
Well, basically, the whole thing with me and the tea shop is 10 years ago I started my club night, Keep It Unreal, and we had a tea shop in the back room, which took off really well, and then we started taking it on tour with us, basically taking my night and replicating it around the country. And then we started doing it at festivals like the Big Chill, and we did it at WOMAD one year and Glastonbury as well. And it's just something that works really well with the music. It's quite a quirky thing that makes people smile, and kind of a nice mellow edge to the evening, basically. So yeah, about 5 or 6 years ago, we started taking it to the Big Chill. I've been working with the Big Chill since about 1997, something like that. So it's something they were very keen to get me involved in.
Yeah.
And this year, they wanted me to do something different because I played on all the stages at all different times of the day and stuff like that. So I said, well, why don't you just do your tea tent and program some DJs and kind of, have something very low key and mellow. And I was really into that because it's the kind of thing I wanted to get more into the programming side of festivals, but in creating environments very similar to my own club nights, and just keep it very mellow, deep music, good sound system, get a brew and a cake and just relax. You know what I mean? I think it's something that was there was definitely a space for it at the Big Chill, and it's been working a treat this year, really good. Hopefully there'll be many more to come.
And if you could sum up what you like about the Big Chill, because like you say, you have been with them since '97. What is it about the festival, the label? What is it about that keeps you coming back?
It's just a very enjoyable environment. The music that's chosen is pretty individual, and I think if you ask 10 different people who they've come to see, everyone will tell you someone different. Especially this year, the programming seems really cohesive and very varied as well. The order that the acts are on, the sound systems are really good, the food's good, the toilets are good, the setting is stunning, and I think it attracts a really nice, mellow, laid-back crowd as well, but also a very mixed crowd. And for some reason on this weekend it's always good weather as well. So everything.
It wasn't supposed to be like this, but it was amazing.
Everything's come together just to make a perfect weekend, really. And it's just they started with a very simple, very low-key, small festival, and they've slowly built it up over the years, and now it's getting sort of 40,000 people. It's stretched over 4 days this year, but it's grown organically and naturally. And it just works really well. It's not too hectic or anything like that. Everything works well together, and I'm rambling now. So.
Brilliant. No, that's good. Tell us a little bit about your own music, because as well as mixing and DJing, you also produce your own music. To the uninitiated again, how would you describe it in a nice short way?
I suppose my music, kind of the roots of the sound are in a kind of old school sort of mid-90s ninja sound, kind of instrumental hip-hop with kind of jazz and soul and funk overtones, but it encompasses a lot of the influences that I'm into, like disco, house, reggae, Latin, Afro stuff, electronic music, whatever, you know what I mean? It's just a very wide-ranging sound with a lot of influences that somehow comes together, you know what I mean? And that's the same as my DJ sets. There's a whole myriad of music from the last 40 or 50 years. All mixed together in a way that somehow makes sense and kind of.
And what have you got coming up? Have you got any new music that's coming out? Or have you recently released anything or doing any live stuff? I
had an album called Ninja Tuner last year, and then last month I reissued my Keep It Unreal album, like a 10th anniversary thing. We remastered it and put out 6 unreleased tracks from the original sessions. But yeah, we had 8 singles off the last Ninja Tune album, and then there's 2 singles off this Keep It Unreal one. So yeah, my plans for this summer are just do a bit of gardening, get the Big Chill done, halfway through that, and then after that, it's back to work in the studio. You know what I mean? Hopefully I've picked a good weekend to be out in the sunshine. But back knuckling down, dust the samplers off, and get back to work next Monday.
So it sounds like a new album on the way. What sort of stuff are you hoping to get on there? Are we more of the same, or are you going to go for some new ideas, or what?
It can be a very I think working in the studio is a very intuitive experience, and intuition and planning don't often go that well together. So I have my own ways of working, my techniques and the equipment I use and that kind of thing. But apart from that, it's generally getting there, relax and have fun, you know what I mean? And you might just have a daft idea on the bus, write it down, then try it. It may or may not work. So yeah, I haven't got a clue, but that's half the fun. You know, I've never got a clue. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to be playing when I'm DJing. I don't know what I'm going to come out of in the studio, but that's half the fun, I think. You know, I like to surprise myself, and you learn new things. I think too much planning makes stuff a bit stale.
Well, yeah, that does seem to be your way, which is always the nice thing about it. And it sort of makes my last question redundant, which is remaining ambition. It does seem that you're following a really nice path, which is kind of laid out for you almost. So, is there anything that you actually want to do?
Not really. No, I think I'm fine. I've got myself into a position where I can pretty much do what I want musically. I've got a really good, successful club night where I can play absolutely anything that I want. And you know, I'm signed to a record label that let me do pretty much what I want, and I've got a tea company. So it's like, well, you know, that's quite enough, really. And I'm quite happy, kind of, just continuing to gain experience musically. I mean, I've been DJing for like 25 years now, from when I started bedroom DJing, and there's still a hell of a lot to learn. You know what I mean? There's a lot of music which hasn't been heard, and ideas to try and stuff like that. So I don't think you get to a point with music where you've done it, because music and any creative exploit is always like a quest for perfection, even though you know perfection doesn't exist, and even if it did, it'd be quite boring. But actually trying to get there and getting it a little bit wrong that's where the magic happens.
Well, nice one. Well, good luck with everything, and thanks very much for your time. Cheers then.
Thank you.